Hey, Bestie Bees, it's your girl Desiraye. Hey.
And it's your girl Maya.
And welcome back to the Beehive Podcast.
Yay!
How you doing today, Miss Maya?
I am doing good. A little tired today, so I went on a run and decided to have a productive morning. But I still feel like a productive day is a win. So
Yes.
doing good. How are you? Happy Saturday.
Oh yes, it's I love the weather. We are out of the rain.
Yes.
Rain, go away, because I was like, no, I'm over it. I need the sun.
Yeah. It was a lot.
And now it's lighter, later, or the sun is out later. So I really like that. I feel like my seasonal depression is like fading away. I'm not like a cold weather kind of girl, very much spring, summer.
Yeah. Definitely.
But yeah, so we gotta tell the people that we are, you guys, we're going to go see Miss Beyonce Giselle Knowles Carter.
Not the full name.
At her Cowboy Carter tour.
Yes, we are going on the Cowboy Carter tour.
Yes, we're going.
We're going to see it.
Now we're going on it, y'all. Y'all see us. We're going on tour with Miss Beyonce. Yes. We're gonna be her announcers. Be prepared. I'm just kidding. So Maya, she checked the ticket prices for floor seats, y'all. Wait, when is this gonna come out? Because I don't want any people. No, we already got our tickets, never mind. Right. But they were a lot lower than we expected. And so we're like, this was meant to be. Manifestation is real.
Yeah.
And so we got floor seats. And let me tell you, how do you feel, Maya?
I really did not think that was going to be possible. And I told you before too, like, I didn't even, when the tickets went on sale, I was like, I just know I can't afford them right now. So I didn't even like attempt to try and like get any pre-sale tickets. I tried. I was like gonna have to be something that happened later on, maybe the day of, seeing like, okay, who's trying to get rid of their resale tickets for the low. But people were talking on Twitter about how, like, honestly, people are a little upset because they were like, they got their tickets right away and then seeing what the ticket prices look like now in some of those same sections. And they were like, wow, they're way cheaper. I don't know if it's specifically for LA or just in general, but regardless, we got our tickets.
Yeah, we snatched them. So if y'all haven't got your tickets yet, look back and you might see the tickets are a lot lower. Even the nosebleeds are like $90.
Yeah, I seen that too. I was so surprised because literally those tickets, like, that's where I was sitting for Renaissance, and I paid more for that ticket than I did for this floor ticket. So it had me wondering, like, what's going on?
Right, because I'm like, wait, for Miss Beyonce, like, it usually costs an arm and a leg, but I don't want to question it too much. We got our tickets secured.
For sure. So hopefully that means other people that didn't get to go to Renaissance, or maybe someone that wants to see her now that couldn't afford it before can, like, be able to go. How are you feeling about it? Because that was what you wanted to do.
No, I'm like, I need to be on the flow with this woman. Like, I need to see her. I need to see the sweat, the glistening off of this woman's skin, because, like, that's how close I wanted to be. I'm like, that's always been a dream of mine. Like, I want to see her closer, because for Renaissance, I was like in the 200s and then 100s. I went 2 nights, and it still felt like she was like real, but not, because when I saw her, she's like, this tiny little thing from my distance. So I'm like, okay, next time, like, I really want to, like, see her, like, as close as I can. And I didn't think it was going to be possible, honestly. Like, when the tickets dropped for Cowboy Carter, I was like, let me just let it go. Actually, no, I did try and purchase for her, I think it's called a hold down section, which is what it was kind of like for Renaissance, like Club Renaissance. So I tried to get those tickets, but they kept kicking me out, and I don't know what, it was just a lot going on those few days.
Yeah.
Those first few days when they dropped the tickets, and I'm like, I just let it go. I'm like, you know what, it just wasn't meant to be. But then when you like, oh my gosh, look at the ticket prices now, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's meant to be. Like, we gotta get them. I just feel like I may pass out you may have to hold me up, but do not call the ambulance. No, wake me up, pour some water on me, be like, girl, get it together. Because I need to see this woman like the whole time. I don't know. I just don't know how I'm gonna be. I just feel like I'm gonna be like frozen the whole time. Like, wait, that's
really her. Like seeing her that close. Yeah.
So now I'm thinking about my outfits.
Yes.
I don't know. What do you want to wear or think about wearing?
I don't even know. Well, I haven't thought like outfit wise, but I'm thinking like just because like cowboy kind of like attire. It's a lot of textury things. I don't know if I'm gonna wear like. I was thinking denim, like a denim on denim. It's gonna be some. I feel like I don't know if it's gonna be like a 2-piece, but I kind of see it could be denim. It could be even like some kind of leather pants.
It's gonna be May, girl. It's gonna be warm.
Yeah, that's true too.
Ooh.
Very true. So then I don't know. For sure boots. For sure a cowboy hat. Maybe I'll get a cute little like bolo tie. I don't know. I gotta start putting my like Pinterest board together.
I feel like at least for colors, I don't know. I just kind of want to do something brown.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be really cute. Maybe just a brown one piece and that's it. That's how I'm coming. Ass out. I definitely want to dress like, I don't know, like sexy, like a sexy cowgirl, like you know, I don't know. And because it's in May, like I want my like skin to be like, you know, all glistening.
The sun will be out. It's gonna be Friday night too, so maybe we can like go out afterwards.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I can't wait to see those women like. Oh, and then I said maybe we should make a poster like the Beehive podcast. Maybe she'll see it
for promotion.
Beyonce, we're trying to.
That's not a bad idea, actually. Or no. I'm like maybe even like passing out business cards.
Somebody in her, Blue, Jay, Jules. Somebody gotta like somebody
has to see.
Will have to see us like from her team. I feel like that would be a good opportunity to like get that word around.
That's something we have to think about too, because we're literally gonna be in a whole arena with like people who are potential listeners.
With our audience, like with our target audience. Right. That's who we're gonna be. Yeah, we have to we really do need to do that.
Like, I don't know if it could be the sign, maybe even just like having something to pass out, like here you go.
Yeah, maybe business cards, maybe like a little treat attached. You know, people love food. You give free something. People love free shit. So we gotta think like what's we can give for free, you know, to people. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm just like, wow, this is a dream come true. I could cry. I feel like I will. No, I know I will cry. Like when she comes out, I'm like, wow, it's really nice.
No, I feel like so many people did. It's funny hearing you say that because you'd think that this was like your first time seeing her.
It's my third time now.
Man, technically. No, I'm like either way, it's like exciting. Like I'm very very excited too.
Yeah, I feel like it's a different experience when you're like
when you're closer.
Yeah, because other artists I've seen before, like from afar, versus like closer. I feel like it's a better experience. Like kind of like when we went to CK Trinata, we were really close, and I actually had a lot of fun. Like that was the most fun I've had at like that kind of concert. Or like it's up there. Like all the concerts I went to, like that's like one of the top ones.
That was a really good concert.
And I seen like Sir like really close, and I just feel like it was a different experience that I really like. And now I feel like I'm kind of spoiled, so I'm like now I need to see like everyone up close.
True. No, I can definitely relate to that. Because I seen Chance the Rapper like in a really intimate setting, and then I seen him like after the Grammys when he was where he was like performing in arenas, and it for sure is a difference.
Yeah. So you're gonna definitely hear from us again when we go to the concert, and
for sure
hear our experience. I'm really excited about that episode because I know it's coming. But yeah, should we tell the people what we're going to discuss today?
Let them know.
For today's topic, we're going to talk about our journeys of like growing, healing, and leveling up as 20-something-year-old women with no children in LA because it's a good time.
For sure.
Um, but we want to just talk about like our own experiences, our personal transformations, our journey to like self acceptance and everything, and those who've inspired us, like someone like Beyonce. Like she's definitely inspired me. Like even like within my womanhood, to, like own that.
Yeah.
Love myself. But yeah.
Yeah. Because it's Women's History Month.
Yes.
Even though this may come out a little bit later, but it's always a good time to celebrate women and what women have done.
Yeah.
Across like just women in general, across any different backgrounds, ethnicities, and stuff. I feel like that's so important because we get overlooked behind like men, but I feel like when you look at a lot of great men and how they've been able to be successful and stuff, they always just had that support of having like a great wife, girlfriend, partner behind them.
A mom.
So, yeah.
So it's Women's History Year. Okay, I declare year. This year, actually from now on, it's Women's History, Women's Celebration every day.
Period.
And technically, I think I looked it up, and April is the celebration of Diversity Month or something like that. So I'm gonna put women in there, Black women.
Period.
Yeah. So we're gonna continue because this episode, it's probably gonna come out in April. But we're here now in March, so celebration every day for us.
How would you like best describe like what womanhood is to you?
Womanhood to me?
Yeah.
I was thinking about this, and because at first I was thinking of it like very broad, because I'm like, I think it means different things to different people. So I had to be like, no, like what does it mean like for me?
Yeah.
And also because I don't want to say like this is what I think it means for others or what this should mean. Oh my gosh, what this should mean for other women. This is just what it means to me. But I would say womanhood really for me is coming to a place in your life where you feel just comfortable with yourself and at ease and doing whatever it is you want to do in life for yourself first and foremost. Like having standards, loving yourself, not accepting anything less than that. And really like pouring into yourself first, like putting yourself first, basically is what I'm trying to say. And like loving yourself unconditionally. So I feel like that's what womanhood is to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just being a girl out here trying to make the big world. I like getting my nails done, some like all that little like girly stuff.
Yes. Embracing the femininity.
Yeah. But also like tapping into my masculinity, because there's times I'm like, okay, now like I just need to like be direct and say like, okay, now this is what we need to do like at work or like in a professional setting where I think you do need that like masculine energy, to get shit done.
For sure.
And if I'm called a bitch, then I'm a bitch. But we gonna get this done one way or another.
Definitely.
Yeah, what about you though?
I think for me, speaking to even like more specific of like this era in my life, definitely kind of like how you said, just being really big on like loving myself, taking care of myself, learning to even be like selfish in that, because I feel like as women we just have a natural urge to like take care of people. I feel like even women, and of course us, like we haven't experienced motherhood, but that's just like a natural thing that comes with like being a woman. So really just taking a step back to like take care of myself before I can like try to be there or take care of other people. And that means like that's just from like all aspects, like financially, like what work needs to be done. Yeah. I guess right now it's like having a balance of doing that. It's just like being on my own chin, being able to handle it on my own. But I think a big part of it too is like also being open to like leaning on the community that you have around you too. And then of course also just like leaning into what makes me feel good as far as like what I look like, if that means doing my hair that day or doing my makeup, maybe being a little extra about what I put on or what I smell like. Like I think that's a big part of it too. Yeah.
No, I like that. Like the doing what makes you feel good.
Yeah.
Like, and it could be something simple as like putting on your favorite lotion.
Yeah.
Actually, that's really what I've been into right now. Like, I bought a few things to like moisturize my skin, like lotion, a body oil, some shea butter,
the layers.
Yeah, the layers. I looked it up because it was like how I looked up like how to make your perfumes last longer. Because I'm like, I feel like I'm spraying my perfume, but like by the time I'm like where I want to go, like I feel like I can't smell it that much. And so I looked up like how to like make your perfume last longer, and a lot of women were saying like it's about like hydrating like your skin more, and like different like the layers, of like lotions and everything. So I got like body oil, which I think it broke me out actually, like not on my body but my face. I went to bed and then I woke up and like my face was like it was very textured.
Gotcha.
So I haven't used it. I wasn't sure if it was that or this like face mist that I got, because I know I kind of like I have very oily skin, but I do like to look dewy. Like I don't want to look too matte, and I just like want to look like I'm glowing when I step outside.
Got you.
So yeah, stuff like that, like feeling like smooth and smelling good.
Yeah.
That to me makes me feel like so feminine. Yeah,
for
and
sure.
I like that.
I didn't. Something else I missed too, but like just learning to be confident in myself, and that kind of goes into like what we're gonna touch on today. But like being, especially in a world where I don't know like what era we're in, I feel like like we're maybe moving out of like the BBL era, but then like now it's like popular to be like super super skinny and thin, like how it was in like the early 2000s. And
I ain't doing
that. I feel like there is like a lot of pressure sometimes when you see social media and stuff like that, and it's like, oh, I don't look like that. I probably will never look like that. And just learning to be like happy with like how you look, and like understanding like as long as you feel good in yourself, like that's all that matters. And that's something that kind of changed my mind when it comes to like just working out and exercising, getting back into that. It's like, okay, I'm trying not so much to focus so much on like what I look like, or how I even told you, like I trying to step back from getting on the scale, because it's like this pressure of like I'm working out, I'm eating better, I'm not losing any weight, but I feel the difference. I feel the difference in myself, even just trying to like get cuter, like exercising clothes and being okay with my little belly being out and stuff, because like what the heck, I'm beautiful.
No, for real. Cozy in her skin. Comfortable who she is.
What?
We are beautiful alien superstars. I love that. And I feel like even Beyonce, she's always touched on that. Like, I mean, she's a mother herself. She's had kids. So I'm sure she's been through like that, like body transformation of like having kids, and like we haven't like been there yet, but I think like we're just like transformation in general, like going more into your womanhood. Like now we're kind of towards the end of our 20s. It's a little different out here.
For sure.
And so I feel like even with that, I've seen myself like change. Like me now versus me at like 20. I feel like we're just so different.
Oh yeah.
Woman, but like I'm proud of that. I feel like I have. Even though I'm not gonna lie, I do struggle with confidence from time to time, but I feel like it is better than what it used to be.
Yeah.
And I think for me it was like with time, but like also with that time, like making it a point to do things that make me feel confident.
Yeah.
Whether it be like with my appearance or like my career, like stuff that like I know like no one else could take away from me, because like I earned it, I did this,
exactly.
like, I did that shit,
Message.
Yeah. So I feel like that, like, I feel like it feels good when you do things intentional for yourself.
Exactly.
Because if you do things for others or you go based off other people's judgment, your emotions are gonna be so up and down. One person might think you're this and that, another person might be like, oh no, like that's not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
And so your emotions should just go like so up and down, where I feel like if you like how you're saying like how now we're kind of getting away from like the BBL era and like the more like skinny like early 2000s look. Like I have to remind myself like, okay, like what is my own beauty standard for myself?
Right.
And I actually like when I have more weight on me, like because I've been like very skinny, slim down, and I don't like how I look. Like just personally, I do like when I have more meat on me. So I'm like, okay, like no, that's what I like. I want a big booty, like, but my like natural
your
curves,
like embracing that,
yeah.
into that.
And I do like to be on the leaner side, kind of, but like just not too much, where I got no booty, no nothing. I'm like, we can't be that flat, flat everywhere. No, and I don't mind having like even like a little tummy, like but that's just like my personal preference.
Yeah. No, that's very real as far as like what are your own standards of like beauty and how you feel about yourself, because something else to like my past struggle of like trying to adjust to like gaining weight and stuff, that scale of like it's, I don't know what it's called, but it's the scale of like how much you're supposed to weigh for like your height and stuff.
Oh, the BMI?
It kind of, I think so, maybe. Well, I think maybe it's that. I don't know what it's called, but it's like the different weight classes, and it's like, okay, you're underweight, average, overweight, obese, or whatever. Like even that, I had to stop like referencing. I feel like it doesn't take into account like cultural stuff, and I just feel like, okay, I don't know, it kind of just gives
racism
because I definitely feel very healthy, and according to that, I'm like overweight, and I'm just like, I don't feel like that. I don't feel like I'm not at a point anymore where I'm like uncomfortable with my weight. I'm just, working on things, but I'm like, that just, I had to ignore it. I had to ignore that and stop referencing that too. But yeah, even going back to like just what's popular right now, like none of that shit shouldn't matter. It's actually kind of crazy when you think about it, that it's even like a trend to like look a certain way.
Right, like our body shape is trendy. Like that is crazy to think about. Like some things just shouldn't be so trendy. But I don't know, I feel like nowadays, like, and I know social media can be a blessing and a curse, but it has made everything so trendy, which is like, no, people, that's just how some people are. Like, it just is. It's not like, oh, this is what it is right now. Like, no, it's always been like this. There's always been women with big everything, and then there's women who've been very petite, and whatever you are, like, that's okay, Because speaking to that, like, scale you're talking about, the weight they say that I should be at, like, a healthier weight, which is like a what? Like I'm like 5'9", 5'10", and I think it's like 150. But when I get that weight, I don't like it. Like I feel like I look too skinny.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because I know like there's some people my height, but for them, I feel like some people look naturally thin. Like okay, like it looks like you just genetically you're just naturally a thinner person. And then there's some people like, okay, it looks like you're naturally just a thicker person.
Yeah.
And it kind of like almost looks like, for me, I feel like I'm one of those people, like I naturally am like this. Like this is just like what my natural weight is. And like if I lose weight, I feel like I'll just look like I have a big head. So I don't like that. I'm like a bobblehead,
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't think I was meant to be that thin,
Yeah.
But like the whole culture, like you're saying, like with racism, I'm pretty sure there is like something, like some in racism in that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say if somebody could tell us, like, let us know in
No,
the
for
comments.
real. Because I
'Cause I feel
think,
like it is.
no, for real. I even will say, like, I feel like just as Black women, like, it's natural for us to, like, hold a little bit more weight.
Oh yeah,
You know?
just even going. I mean,
That's fine.
everything goes back to slavery, but it just always feels so dramatic to bring up. But it's like
No, for
so
real.
real that stuff has like stemmed down from that. But like the stuff that we had to eat, and then of course
Mhm.
now like what everything has transpired to, like we still
Mhm.
eat really good as Black people.
Yeah.
So it's like genetically that's that's kind of what it is.
Mhm.
Yeah, no. I always hate that it like goes there in my mind. It's
No,
like,
for
damn, it's
real.
because of slavery.
I remember there's like a meme, or no, but it was true. Like on social media, the video would start off like, "Do you want to know why Black people do this?" And some people are like, "Please don't tell me this is another because slavery." And it always goes back to slavery. It's like, oh my gosh. It's just everything's always related. Like, well, because during slavery we had to do this, and I'm like, wow, like,
no, it's so
yeah,
real.
yeah. So I'm sure, like, with the whole like weight and everything, that's within it.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I think it's beautiful. I like a curvier body, you know.
Yeah.
Well, love all bodies, but on me personally, like I want to be curvylicious. I'm trying to like Megan Thee Stallion. Okay, she has made me believe as a tall girly. Because actually, sometimes it can be hard for me like to put on more weight.
Mhm.
I don't know. Actually, no. Sometimes like it's easy for me to lose weight, easy for me to gain weight. But no, I think it's very normal. Like where you hit like a plateau, where you kind of stay the same.
Yeah, for sure. And it like fluctuates based on what you're going through, and that's even. I know we kind of like got into like physical appearances, but that's like a big part of womanhood too. Like we deal with so many hormonal things, even getting older, and older women deal with like menopause. Like there's just so much stuff that we're always dealing with that's gonna affect like our mental. It's gonna affect like how we may look. Even just like I don't know, maybe we're stressed out more. You might put on weight, or it might affect your acne. Like so, we deal with like so much stuff like that as women.
Yeah. No, I think I just saw what was her name? I just heard Halle Berry saying something about this on another podcast about like with women, like all our hormones, and it can affect like how you're saying like our fate, like acne, or like being bloated, and then like getting into menopause, and like there's not like, I guess when you go like in the history, at least here in the U.S., I didn't even know like realize this, but it wasn't until like the 90s that they started to put more funding into like women's research on like women's health.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, the 90s? Like we were born in the 90s.
No, for real.
You know, so it's like there's still like so much research to be done about us, and people might think, oh, like like there's PMS isn't a real thing, or just because you're going through this cycle or whatever. But it's like I think there's just not enough research done.
Yeah. No, for sure.
But I don't need the research. I can just tell you as a woman, like, no, this shit is real. Like, I'm feeling this way one day or this way another day. I'm on my cycle. I'm bloated as hell. I don't feel good. Like, I don't need a researcher to tell me that what I'm feeling already, you know.
Exactly.
But I guess to be credible, people need the research. But it's only been a few decades that they've been putting more money towards that, you know, and even like Black, what is it called, like PTSD from slavery. I think there's like actual name, but
oh yeah, I can't. What's her name? It's a psychologist. I think her name's like Dr. Joy something. But she has a book called it's post-traumatic slave syndrome or disorder. But it's like still called PTSD, but she takes out stress and replaces it with slave. And then she like really breaks that down of like how a lot of like even mental like health things that we deal with as like Black people, and even specific to Black women, like do stem from slavery too.
Yeah, and it can be passed down, and that's like a new thing researchers discovered. Like back in the day, people thought it was like crazy to say that you can pass down like mental things like depression, anxiety, like that can live in our DNA and then pass off to our children.
Oh yeah.
And I saw a post that was saying like back then they were calling those people like, you know, the weird hippie people that just did a lot of like hoo talk. But now it's true.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that's real. So yeah. I didn't know where I was going with that. Or what I was trying to say next.
What have you done, or like what has the process been of just, I guess, like getting comfortable with like I guess like in your womanhood, or really just getting comfortable to like being yourself now? That's I feel like it's hard to ask because we're still so young, so of course we're like growing every day, but like kind of like how you said, you now is like so different from like the woman you were at 20. So like what have been some things, or what has that transformation been like for you?
Yeah, I love talking about this stuff. I just really love being a woman too. Like as much as should we go through like a Black woman, I'm like, I would not change this. I hope in my next life I come back as the same thing, a Black woman every time. Please, every single time I want to come back as a Black woman.
As the kids would say, I'm so glad I'm gang.
I'm gang. Gang.
Yes, I love being a Black woman too.
No, but for me, it has a lot to do with being a Black woman. Like growing up, I didn't, I guess like my girlhood, like being like proud, like womanhood, like that wasn't really advertised to me. Like I didn't see that representation. I saw like women around me trying their best they could. Actually, I saw a lot of the oppression of, or is that what I want to call it?
I feel like that's a good word.
But yeah, just a lot of like the challenges that women go through. And I just remember being a little girl like, no, because when I become a woman, I'm going to tell it like it is. Like, I ain't like nobody treating me like this. So like, no man, like, And then I grow up and I did keep that my word to myself, kind of. I mean, I did deal with like some bums and did do a lot more than I should have in relationships. But what was it, like around the age of 22, I feel like there was like a little shift in me that was like, wait, no, like I don't need to put up with this guy who makes all these excuses for not improving in his life. And then I looked on myself, I'm like, I'm working with what I got and like making a living for myself. Yeah. I was in school and, you know, he even was trying to tell me like bring me down, or like saying like this really isn't, like I didn't really earn this. And it's like, no, I did, you know, like, yeah, I had like help, but like I decided to, like, what was it? Like for instance, I got grants like to go to college, you know, but I chose to spend the money wisely. I could have just blew the money.
Right.
You know, but I didn't. I chose to, like, I had to buy books, all the books, you know, for my housing, everything. And I had like sometimes 2 part-time jobs on the side, you know, to pay my bills and everything. So I'm like, no, I am doing, like, I don't need this dude. This dude needs me. That's why he's fucking hanging on by a thread. So after that, I was like, wait, what am I doing? Like, no. I have a lot going for myself. And so I needed to like realize like, no, I have a lot going for myself. So I need to start acting like it, you know? But then I ran into this issue where I was low-key like tying my worth into, or to how attractive I was to men, you know? But I don't know, once that full brain developed, like at 25, 26, I was like, wait a minute.
Things really do hit different at that age.
This ain't it.
It's like something you can't even explain. It's like it happens when you get there.
Yeah. It's just, I really feel like you feel it in the movie, like, oh my god, this all makes sense now.
Right.
So I was like, and then for me it was just like what I consumed, like when I found Horrible Decisions. Shout out to Horrible Decisions. We really love y'all.
Yes, we love Mandy and Weezy.
Yes, they are really like I guess like inspirations. And even like when I got into podcasts is when I found their podcast. I'm like, I want to talk about my like, experiences as like a, back then a young woman in college. So for me it was like seeing other women embracing who they were, no matter what, whether they were like a hoe or whatever they were, whatever career field they were in, but they owned who they were, you know. That inspired me to like, oh my gosh, like I want to be like them, when I grow up. I'm over here like 24, like I'm already grown up, but even now I'm like, wow, like it was like I can't wait to like, I don't know. Oh no, actually too, I had this Professor Mitchell or Michelle, I forgot which name, but she taught a Black feminism and womanism class at Cal State LA. If y'all know who I'm talking about, please let me know. And I'm like, I don't know if she'll ever watch this, but she inspired me because like as soon as she walked in the room, it's like she was just like this. She just had like this aura about her, like this goddess aura. Like she just walked in like she was that girl, and she knew it, and she was just so confident, like how she held herself. And I was like, wow, like I want to be like you. And she was just so beautiful. Like she just radiated like goddess energy. Like I guess that's how I could explain it. And so little things like that, like just seeing confident women around me, whether it was my professor or just like who I was watching. Beyonce. Oh, Beyonce too. I was like, wow, like watching her documentary, like Homecoming, and seeing like all these things she had to go through, and she pulled it off. And she said, I had no meat, no bread, no fish, no alcohol.
Yeah.
And I'm hungry.
That's crazy.
I'm like, girl, because you're not eating nothing but air.
That is discipline.
No, real discipline. And so I was like, yeah, just seeing all that, I feel like it all like seeped into my subconscious. And then like I was doing things kind of without knowing it, like to build my confidence in my womanhood, and own who I am more.
Yeah. That representation like really, really means so much. Like just having a community of people that look like you, especially like specifically Black women and stuff like that. And let me say, because they're kind of sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you, but
you're fine.
I think for me, like I always grew up, because my mom is the one that's Black, because obviously we're both biracial. My mom's side is the Black side, and so I feel like it really made a difference to have a Black mom, but also just her internal struggles of like having kids early, and kind of how you said like your experience was like seeing a lot of women kind of be oppressed in a way. Because my mom's always very much been like the head of the household kind of vibe, always taking care of everybody. Like she had kids really young and older, so it's like always just taking care of kids her whole life. I didn't really have an example of like just her fully embracing like who she was. And now that everyone's older, I kind of see that, and I love that for her. But I think it was something like that would have been different to like witness as like a younger girl. But I think like even just having like those examples, and sometimes she would say little things like like not to marry a man who drinks, or not to marry a man who's like this, and kind of like instilling those. I don't know, I just naturally felt like, okay, I need to do kind of like have my shit together for myself. But then of course still leaned into the trap, like you said too, of like having someone to take care of, because you just like watch so many women, or I watched so many women in my life kind of do that. Like they were the ones that had to take care of everybody. And so just having that realization that I don't have to take care of a man. I have a choice if I want to have kids or not. That's not something I have to do. Which is I think that's been like a big realization recently. I feel like motherhood is never it's never presented as an option. It's always like one day you're gonna be a mom, and that kind of gets instilled into you. But just, I mean, I love kids. Don't get me wrong. Like, I want to be a mom one day for sure. But I just see how even if you do have a husband and a partner, whatever the situation is, it still is a really, really hard job, and you really do have to like put a lot of um a lot of your like personal things to the side to like care for this baby and care for your family. And I definitely love that for women though. I love it, but then it really is something to see women like kind of doing the opposite of that, because it's like historically women were supposed to be like, in the home and cooking and taking care of the kids
and cleaning, being a housewife.
Man. And so I love like that's something where I feel like, okay, I was born in the right generation, because I love that we don't we have a choice of like if we want to do that. Again, nothing wrong with that at all, but I love that it's a choice now where we can decide like, okay, we want to go this route or this route. Yeah, no, I also had a mentor in college too that was just, I just love how she carried herself. Her shout out to Dr. Peart. I'm like, she might tune in. I don't know. We'll see. She might be tuning in, and we also need to catch up soon. She was my mentor in college. Like, hair always done, makeup always done. She always had. I've never seen her wear the same thing twice. Always had on heels. Like, she just, and kind of like how you said about your professor, like her just aura and her being. It was just something about her that just made me gravitate towards her thing. And like just feel like, wow, like I want to be like her when I grow up. Just the circles that she was in, even just her dating like the men that she dated, and like the status that they had and stuff. I'm just like, I don't know. It's something about seeing that and having that representation made me feel like, okay, like I can do this shit too. Because her background was, her parents were from Jamaica, and so like I think it was her mom that ended up coming here, and so like it wasn't like she was necessarily like, I think she was like the first one to like get her doctorate, and I don't want to get too much in her personal life, but I just know like she was kind of the example that she like needed for herself. And like now this was like my advisor for my sister group that I had in college that I was in. And so she got to be that example for like a whole other group of women. So yeah, I feel like that's kind of like what in this transformation of like what I'm working towards, it's really just to be that example for someone else in their life too. Like I want to be the auntie that everyone looks up to. Like, okay, my auntie Maya, she going to Jamaica for Christmas.
Right.
Like, I want to go to Auntie Maya's house. Like, she always gives me money. Auntie. Yeah.
I can't wait. I want to be the fun auntie. Actually, low-key, I kind of, well, at least for one of my nieces, well, she's 7 now. So we always have a good time when we hang out. But my littler nieces, I'm like, I can't wait for them to grow up. And like, it was like crazy because like I met them both like when like a day or two after they were born, and so holding them, I've never felt this before, like this, like I guess like this unconditional love, Yeah. I guess until like I have my own kid. That was like the first time I felt that, like for like a little baby, that I'm like, I don't even know you, but I already love you. I'm like, wow, you're so like precious, and I will do anything for you. Like, and so when I thought back at it, I was like, oh, like I remember like when I was growing up and I was close to one of my aunties, and just like like little core memories you have with your aunties or your mom.
Yeah.
But I feel like aunties are a little different. It's like the funness, of it.
Yeah.
And so that makes me excited, to continue that with my niece who, she can remember things now and
Yeah.
have a conversation with me. And she's so funny. And then for my littler nieces, I'm like, I can't wait for them to grow up. They both have very different personalities, but a little similar. But I'm like, I can't wait to see like who they become.
Yeah.
And it would be heartwarming to like know that I had a part in that, like inspiring them.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, I can't wait for that.
For sure. It is something about like just being the auntie. Like it's not as much pressure as like being the mom.
No, for real.
Or being the dad. Like,
oh yeah.
And definitely like shout out to all the parents out there, especially the single parents, because it is I don't know personally, but just from witnessing on the outside looking in, like raising kids is hard.
That's why I don't have any. Yeah, like I work with kids, and so that's the thing too, like seeing like how they look up to me, and I'm surprised because I'm just, how do I say it, like you're with yourself all the time, so you feel like some things aren't like special, but like to see it through a kid's eyes, it's like, oh, okay, like they do pay attention.
Yeah.
And I am doing a good job, at like trying to be a younger person's mentor. And so that also gives me confidence, like, okay, I am doing something right.
Definitely, for sure.
But I love this conversation. I could go on and on forever.
I know. I feel like we definitely have to do like a part 2 or something.
A part 2. Oh, actually, before we end, I did want to say I am the one with the black dad, but do not come for me because I am not like one of those other ones with the black dad and white mom. Okay, my mom is a proud Mexican American woman.
Period.
Okay, and I mean, I don't want to dish her information out there, but she was in the black culture. Okay, she loved black culture. She loved her some black men. And my dad, he is not one of those like self-hating black men.
Yeah.
He actually was one who inspired me to be more confident in myself. I remember one time, I don't know why I told him this, like, I want a boy to buy me a dog. And he was like, well, you can grow up and buy yourself one and be like Oprah. And I don't know, that kind of gets, I'm like, wait, yeah, you're right. I can get my own dog. And so he always like dropped those little like seeds for me.
Yeah.
Or like said those things to me. And even like, was real with me. He's like, I don't understand what it is to be like a black woman, or like your case, like a black and Mexican woman. And me and your mom may not fully understand what you go through, but he's like, you're beautiful, like love yourself, and like any man like try and like control you. So shout out to all the present dads.
Yeah.
All the black dads who are proud to be a black dad. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
But yeah, I love this topic, and we definitely will do part 2
for sure, and get into it again.
Yeah, but thank y'all for watching, and make sure to follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Threads. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you smash that like button.
Yes, like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you guys for tuning in again for another episode of the Beehive Podcast. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Yay.
That time went by really quickly.
It did.